Hello there, diehard Bronco fans. It's a Shad Ring with Broncos Soup, and we're bringing you the latest and the greatest from the Denver Broncos. A few weeks ago, we talked about Tebow and Norton, and you know I'm a Tebow guy. I got all fired up, but I feel a little bit better this last 2 weeks. I heard maybe the Minnesota Vikings and the Cardinals are interested in Norton. That makes my life a lot better. But we're not here to talk about the quarterback controversy this week. We're here to talk about the #1 draft pick for the Denver Broncos, the second overall pick in the NFL draft, Mr. Von Miller. Yes, Mr. Texas A&M, number 40, the top linebacker in the country, now wearing a Denver Broncos uniform. So let's talk for a second, because what I want to debate in this the week's edition is really, will Von Miller be a stud or a dud? So let me give you a little quote here. Now, maybe you've heard of this guy, maybe not, I hope not, but Dave Rosano, who was an NFL scout for 20 years. And here's what he had to say about Mr. Miller. He said, I don't think he has a motor or can chase hard. Yes, Mr. Rosano, he can chase hard. Maybe you didn't see that he won this award called the Dick Butkus Award, maybe. Maybe you didn't know that, best linebacker in the country. Maybe you didn't know that he led the nation in sacks. Maybe you didn't know that over the last 2 years he had 27.5 sacks and 39 tackles for losses. Well, that doesn't sound like anybody chase it down. Maybe he just gets lucky. People fall down and he lays on him. What are you thinking, Mr. Rosano? You are a former scout for a reason. You don't have a clue, my friend. This is no debate. He is not a dud. He will not be a dud. He is a stud. Now, has he always been perfect? No, I got a little story for you. And this you guys may understand this a little bit that went to college, because I was there too. So in 2008, Von Miller skipping a few classes. Yeah, can you imagine that in college? And he's not really working hard in practice. Practice? Are we talking about practice? Well, guess what? His coach wasn't messing around with that. He said, hey, Von, we're not going to do that. Now, I think Von said, wait a minute, because you know how college kids do. We think we know what the world's all about. And he thought about maybe I ought to leave. But you know what? Von Miller Sr., being the dad that he is, the great dad that he is, he sits his son down. He says, hey, we play hard in this family. Yeah, we don't quit, my friend. And what do you think? Von Miller comes back. He comes dedicated because of his great dad. That's what dads are for. Next thing you know, Von Miller's leading the country in sacks. Going crazy, people. Now, not only did he do that, maybe you've heard of the Senior Bowl. Do you know who the defensive MVP of this Senior Bowl was? Yeah, Von Miller. Now, what did Jon Gruden? Maybe Jon Gruden, a Super Bowl winning coach, knows a few things about football. He said this about Von Miller. Hey, best player in the draft, period. No Patrick Peterson. No. Not Cam Newton. No, Von Miller, people. That's what I'm talking about. Von Miller is the real deal. Now, let's talk a little bit about speed, What's 4.53 mean to you? That means blazing hot speed. And how about, anybody heard of Dan Brandenburg? Dan Brandenburg is one of the best trainers for linebackers in all the NFL. And he's worked with somebody, maybe you heard of this guy, Clay Matthews III. He worked with Clay Matthews III. He also worked with Sean Weatherspoon, who was one of the top linebackers drafted last year. And he said of the three, Von Miller, who he's working with, is the best athlete of them all. Now, this is Clay Matthews, who was the NFC Defensive Player of the Year, 2010. Maybe that'll get your attention there, Mr. Rosano. So, hey, I'm here to tell you, I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but what I do know is Broncos football. And I know that Von Miller coming in at 6'3", 245 with a 4.53 speed. And by the way, A.J. Green, the #1 receiver, picked in the draft, didn't run it that fast. I know that we got a stud on our hands. Now, how about John Elway? What's John Elway have to say about Mr. Von Miller? John Elway, you think he knows something about linebackers? Yeah, he spent his whole life running away from linebackers and compared him to Derek Thomas, who had sacked Elway probably more than any other player in NFL history. So here we got Elway saying, and here's what else he said about him. He said he's the best player. He said players like this don't come around but every 10 years. So I'm telling you what, Bronco fans, we got ourselves a deal here. Now, when you're from Colorado, you can't love Texas all that much. It just, you guys don't drive well in the snow. You get up in these tourist towns, you don't know what the heck you're doing. And matter of fact, I've heard that Von Miller grew up a Cowboy fan, which I know brought down his Wonderlic scores. But I'm telling you this, Von Miller is the best thing that's happened to the Denver Broncos since John Elway. Right here, you heard it. Tape it, record it. slap it there on YouTube and save it, baby, under your favorites. Von Miller will be the most impactful Denver Bronco since John Elway. Game over, people. We don't even need to talk about stud and dud anymore. You want to know who our dud is? Dave Rosano. Buddy, move on to retirement. Go play your bingo. Go do whatever you're going to do with all the old folks. But right now, what I'm telling you is Jon Gruden can't be wrong. Even Mel Kiper, you know, who, well, I wouldn't necessarily call him an expert. But when Jon Gruden, John Elway, both been to the Super Bowl, they recognize the talent of this young man. And guess what? He's fashionable. You know, fashionable glasses. You know, only the cool guys do it. That's what I understand. You know, we set trends. That's what we do. So, Von Miller, welcome to Denver, Colorado. May God bless you, and may God bless the Denver Broncos.